I'm here in Concord, North Carolina at the NASCAR R&D Center in front of the NASCAR submission car. This car is used to test the Ford, the Chevrolet, and the Toyota bodies. It's also used in wind tunnel testing to try different components when it comes to rules changes. In front of me you have all the different changes. Splitters that were used in the wind tunnel for the short tracks. This is the rear floor. This is the middle of the car going towards the rear bumper. The big difference for the race fans is how it will look from behind. The normal diffuser has multiple vertical fencings that come down. You can see it all the way at the tail of the car. This one, only 2 of those vertical strakes and much shorter, almost hidden underneath the rear bumper cover. The other change to go along with this rules update is the rear spoiler. It used to basically be at the top of this carbon fiber panel. Now it's about 1 inch wider on each side and 1 inch taller, trying to add back a little of the downforce that the rear floor took away. The combination of these two are going to change how the car is handled.
So like I mentioned, like we just heard Steve Letarte say, this debuted in Phoenix. We saw it in Phoenix, although not everybody considers Phoenix a short track, a true short track. And then we didn't have it at Bristol, which is a short track. So now I feel like this might be the true test, the first true test. Would you agree?
Yeah, Richmond definitely races more like a short track than Phoenix does. It's a little bit slower. It's definitely slicker. So we'll see. There's always comers and goers at Richmond. You see guys who kind of haul the mail the first part of the run, then fall back, and guys that 50, 60 laps in start making hay and run to the front. So it just depends on who gets their car right, if it's a short run, if it's a long run. We have been seeing a lot of green flag stops at short tracks, so it could be a mixed bag, and anything can happen this Sunday night.
And the good news is we've got 2 back-to-back short track races. So we got Richmond and Martinsville next weekend. So they're going to learn a lot about this short track package in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, and it seems like the simple diffuser has promoted passing, so hopefully they can run a little closer together, and we'll see if the guys get a little rowdy on Sunday night.
Join Todd Gordon and myself each week for NASCAR Inside the Race. We'll break down exactly how the race was won.
Plus, we'll dive into the data and go in depth on race strategies, penalties, and rule changes.
Catch NASCAR Inside the Race presented by Consumer Cellular each Tuesday on NASCAR's YouTube channel.
So one of the big hot topics this year has been tire fall off. We saw that at Bristol. Will we see it at Richmond this weekend?
I don't know if it'll be as drastic as it was at Bristol, but Richmond is known for its tire fall off. I'm not real sure, but we got 2 past winners here that'll tell you all about it.
The surface is worn out a lot. It wears tires out very quickly, takes grip out of the tire very quickly, to the point where we have these long runs where you're really trying to get forward drive in the car.
You know, you're talking about running, 60, 70 laps on tires at Phoenix and having, half to 1 second fall off, and at Richmond you'll get that in 10 laps, 8 laps, so just the tire wear factor is so different there, so unique.
So you saw Martin Truex Jr. specifically mention tire wear there. It's definitely going to be a big part of the race. Maybe not the first stage, which is 70 laps, but then the second stage, the final stage, 160 laps, 170 laps. And we've seen different strategies in the past. We've seen kind of breaking the stage up into 2 parts and 3 parts.
7 pit stops the last time we came here, so that's quite a bit. And pit road's pretty unique here, so it's definitely challenging. It's a short pit box and 30 feet that long, but it's 20 feet wide. So to jump out and get out to your car, there's turns on pit roads. Sometimes it's hard to see your car, so definitely challenging. And you are always just like 1 caution away. Like Martin said, 10 laps, 12 laps. If you run 12 hard laps, you're coming in for another set. You're 1 caution away from just having to be ready to go all the time.
Well, yeah, and that begs the question, like how many stops we will see. It's going to be a lot, and the attention is going to be put on the crews, because you have to imagine every time a driver has the opportunity, they're going to come in for 4 tires.
Yeah, and even if it's not a caution, green flag pit stops, and you have to execute well on green flag pit stops to keep yourself in the race. We had trouble last year here with a wedge wrench. We're doing a left side adjustment here. Trevor will stick the left side wrench. We'll come around. Jordan goes to grab the wrench. Doesn't get it out. Trevor tried to get it. Valiant effort, but
two men down.
So if that's under yellow flag,
not a big
we just
deal.
go to the end
Not
of
as
the
big
longest
of a
line.
deal.
But if you have trouble and you have to re-pit under green flag pit cycle, there is no doubt at this track that you are going a lap down. It's not as forgiving as a place like COTA was last week. So You got to keep yourself in the race all day long, on pit road, on the track. And if you do, even if you do a great job, if there's a caution with 10 to go, it's money stop time.
And there's been at least 3 green flag pit stops the last 7 Richmond races, so the pressure is on you. Well, I like to say the pressure should be on the team, should it not? Because if the crew chief gets the car right for the weekend, less likely to make a mistake because you're not having to put a chassis wrench in it.
Yeah, hey, right there. If we didn't have to make an adjustment, we wouldn't have that problem. But it's part of the job. But like I said, as long as if you execute all day long, it looks like you're going to win. I was on the 39 car here back in the day when it looked like we were going to win, punch our way to the playoffs. Clint Boyer spun out, and then we had a pit with like 3 to go. We lost the lead. So you got to be on your game all day long. And hey, like we talk about on Stacking Pennies, you can either the dogs of the week or the woes of the week. Which section are you going to be on? So we'll have to find out.
Let's hope you're in the dog section.
Amen.
Yeah.